So I thought we would try two examples. It says use the unit circle to find exact values of the trigonometric functions pi over 6, that'll be part A, and 0, that'll be part B. So for part A, we have to do the 6 trig functions, which would be sine of pi over 6, cosine of pi over 6, tangent of pi over 6, cosecant of pi over 6, secant of pi over 6, and cotangent of pi over 6. For part B, we'll do those same trig functions but with 0. All right, so what we're going to do is first look at pi over 6 on our unit circle, and when you go to your unit circle, one that's all filled out, pi over 6 is right here, and you'll copy down this ordered pair, and those are the numbers that you'll use. So for pi over 6, the ordered pair is square root of 3 over 2, comma, half. If you do the same thing with the angle of 0, you end up with 1, 0. So these numbers we're going to use for these. These numbers we'll use for this problem. So this is our x value, square root of 3 over 2. This is our y value, half. And I'm going to use the formulas from the front to figure these out. So the y value is half. The x value for cosine is square root of 3 over 2. Tangent is y over x, so that would be half divided by square root of 3 over 2. This one is the only one so far that we've had to simplify. These we just could write down. So I'm going to simplify those by doing my rule for dividing fractions, which is copy, dot, and flip that one. We end up with a 2 on top and a 2 on the bottom. Those can cancel. So we end up with a 1 on top, a square root of 3 on the bottom. When you have a square root of 3 on the bottom, we're going to do something called rationalize the denominator. And rationalize the denominator means we're going to simplify so that we don't have a square root on the bottom. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to multiply that square root number that I have already, which is square root of 3, and I'm going to do that on the top and the bottom. The reason I can do that is if I multiply it on the top and the bottom, I'm keeping them equal. I'm multiplying by basically a 1 here, because it's the same on the top and the bottom, and it won't actually change the number. So multiply across, 1 times square root of 3 is square root of 3. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is square root of 9, and square root of 9 is 3. So multiplying that number again gets rid of the square root on the bottom and makes it just a 3. So this is the answer for tangent. These are all reciprocal, so I'm just going to take this and flip it. 1 over 2 would be 2. This would be 2 over square root of 3. Oh, same deal. I have to simplify. I'll multiply by square root of 3 over square root of 3. So that's 2 square root of 3 on top, square root of 3 times square root of 3, which is 3 on the bottom. Here I'll flip this. Flip that, 3 over square root of 3, and I got to do it again. Multiply by square root of 3 over square root of 3. So on the top it'd be 3 square root of 3. On the bottom it'd be 3. Those 3's cancel, and I get square root of 3. When I do the next set, I'm going to use these numbers. 1 is x, 0 is y, and I'll use the same formulas but with these numbers. So sine is the y value, which is 0. Cosine is the x value, which is 1. Tangent is y over x, which is 0 divided by 1. Cosecant is 1 over y. Y is 0. 1 over 0 is undefined. Secant is 1 over x, so 1 over 1. 1 over 1 is 1. Cotangent is x over y. 1 over 0. Also undefined.